If the writers intended for us to despise Drew, mission accomplished. For a while now, Drew has barely resembled the character Billy Miller once played, but today really drove the point home. His behavior toward Willow was uncomfortable to watch, towering over her, cutting her off whenever she tried to speak to Sunny and Carly, and essentially overriding her every move as if she couldn't make a decision without his permission. It wasn't help, it was control. The creepy part, it feels like they're writing him as if he's this concerned protector, knowing full well she's a former cult member, vulnerable to manipulative behavior, and trying to save her from herself. This isn't the Drew we knew. It's an entirely different person. The worst part? They're not even writing him as a villain or a schemer, which is exactly how his actions come across. They want us to believe he's some saint, but it's just not working. Honestly, after all the effort to rebuild the Quartermain family, I'm all for them writing Drew off. We need some morally gray characters, or even completely immoral ones. But Drew isn't even fun to watch in that regard. He's just sanctimonious, and they want us to buy it. I'm not. Also, how great would it be if Monica handed the mansion over to Jason? It's Jason's house now. Monica gave it to him. Wouldn't be the worst idea at this point. As for Drew and Willow, it looks like we're heading towards some sort of controlling relationship storyline. That's going to be a train wreck. But amidst all the chaos, let's talk about Tracy and Stella's unexpected friendship. The two of them catching up was so touching. Hearing Tracy talk about Monica's health, especially after we learned about Leslie's passing, hit hard. Tracy and Monica were a force back in the day, and their epic battles were legendary. And don't even get me started on Monica versus Leslie and Laura's mom. Those were some of the best showdowns. Tracy's right though. Monica is the glue that holds everything together, keeping everyone accountable. And Stella, bless her heart, is spot on. Tracy's fierce loyalty to the family is unmatched. Her bark is much worse than her bite, but she thrives in the chaos she creates. She'll protect them at all costs. It was almost prophetic, hearing Tracy talk about Monica as though she was bracing herself for a loss, right when we lose Leslie Charlison. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. It was heartbreaking and beautiful all at once. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. I just don't get it. Why hasn't anyone told Willow that Nina and Drew were already sleeping together at the start of their affair? That would totally change the game. And honestly, Cyrus, he's gotta go. At least this time, Liz isn't involved. So let's give her job back. She earned it. And speaking of things that made no sense, when Jason walked up on Sasha crying while watching Michael, he looked so surprised. I mean, he was nice about it, took her home, all that. But let's be real, the minute Sasha starts showing, Jason's gonna put 2 and 2 together and realize the baby's Michael's. Then there's the whole Monica thing. They mentioned her, and I'm pretty sure they saw Leslie's passing coming. Or maybe they just kept her character alive on screen because they film weeks in advance. Rip Leslie Charlison, you'll be missed. Tracy talking about Monica today really hit hard after Leslie's death. So it looks like sooner or later, Tracy will be the matriarch of the Quartermains once Monica's gone. Buckle up for that. Now, Sunny and Carly still have no idea someone just tried to kill Michael. Lucas should have told them. I get it, confidentiality and all, but come on, the family needs to know. And Willow, can she please pretend to have a backbone for 5 seconds and stop letting Drew run the show? I mean, I get Nina's instinct to save herself in the situation, but how much longer is she gonna put up with Drew and Willow's endless drama? Honestly, someone needs to tell Carly about Drew and Nina, or better yet, Tracy should write Willow a new one and make her realize that her anti-hero act is getting old. I was really waiting for Deanne to step in and remind Willow that she didn't exactly become a single mom on the night. She tried to sneak the kids out behind Michael's back. Like she took Wiley out of state without Michael's approval or even telling him where they were. How disrespectful is that? They're still married and have no custody agreement. She's lucky Michael didn't call the cops for kidnapping. But of course, Diane came to the rescue with an emergency court order to get the kids back. And then Sonny goes and ruins all of Diane's hard work by giving Nina the benefit of the doubt. I knew he wasn't actually listening to Michael when he warned him about Nina behind the kids' disappearance in the separation. Honestly, I get why Diane thinks Sonny is her worst client. Why even hire her if you won't use her when it really matters? All they had to do was call Diane first. He definitely should have consulted her before agreeing to anything. Now, the real question is, will a judge still back his original ruling after the family completely disregarded it? It's not gonna be easy, especially since the kids are all settled in now. Sonny better hope Drew doesn't pack them up and move to DC before Diane can fix this. And of course, the writers had to go and annoy me after Thursday and Friday's brilliant episodes. Joss and Carly were on fire, and then, well, this. Nina was completely taken aback by Willow's lack of gratitude for getting Sonny to agree to return the kids. Seriously, what happened to Willow? She's barely recognizable anymore. And then there's Drew, who's somehow managed to become even more unbearable. Is this really the same guy? The one who used to be the Navy SEAL, the tough guy everyone respected? Now he's just a walking target, getting booed and having darts thrown at him. Honestly, it's like he's a different person. And don't even get me started on Cyrus. What he did to Mike at the hospital was absolutely unforgivable. He deserves to be locked up for that, no questions asked. And Willow, does she not have a spine of her own? Why is Drew suddenly her spokesperson? Does she even have a mind to make decisions without running them by him first? It's beyond frustrating. At this point, I'm amazed she can even stand on her own 2 feet, let alone make an independent choice. It's like she can't function without a man telling her what to do. On a different note, I couldn't help but feel a little sad when Tracy was talking to Stella about Monica. They've clearly been bracing for the worst for a while, but the timing was just oddly fitting. Maybe I'm overthinking things, but I really expected more from Diane. She's supposed to be sharp, right? So why, when she served Willow those child custody papers and knew about the divorce, would she suggest that Michael change his health conservatorship to his mother? Sonny should have consulted Diane before caving in so easily about the kids. That move felt way too rushed. And Drew, oh Drew, he's so obsessed with everyone else's business that he's forgetting about his own child. Once Alexis finds out what he's been up to, she's going to take Scout from him in a heartbeat. And don't get me started on Sam. She definitely left an updated while naming Dante as the guardian for the kids. At least Dante and Jason are actually there for them. Drew, he's just worried about himself. And speaking of Drew, how many people besides Curtis know about his affair with Nina? There have to be more, right? This secret needs to come out already. I'm so done with this love triangle, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Here we go. Now we have to wait for the big reveal that it's Cyrus behind all this. I can hardly contain my excitement. And Drew, please, someone get him out of the drama involving Willow and Michael's kids. Seriously, why hasn't Sonny told Willow that she can keep the kids as long as Drew stays far, far away? Is that so much to ask? And can someone please explain how General Hospital doesn't have a medical consultant? Because that scene with the nurse checking a pulse over a bandage. A joke? She couldn't even find a stethoscope. Ridiculous. And then there's Drew, pulling the strings and making decisions for Willow. I can't stand them both. I really hope Diane has some legal papers ready because I am so over Willow and her custody drama. Maybe it's time Lucas steps up and fights for Wiley. And seriously, GH? No conditions for Willow to get her children back after she was blackmailing Sonny and Carly, trying to defy a court order? It's like they're just letting her parade around while clearly making choices that put those kids at risk. It's frustrating, but I guess as much as I hate 2/3 of this plot, I have to give a shout out to the cast. They are making something magical out of these wild, twisted, and downright absurd storylines. I mean, they've got us all coming back, even if we're holding pitchforks and torches. I can't believe GA's let Drew and Willow win this one. What is even happening? They're making Carly and Sunny look weak. Carly should have told Willow, no Michael, no kids, and Drew should have gotten the media treatment. Imagine the drama if Carly had threatened to spill the beans about the congressman, while Michael's lying in a hospital bed, sleeping with his wife. That would have been the ultimate burn. Sunny and Carly should have been fighting back, not letting Nina manipulate them. Come on, guys, where's the backbone? And Drew, aka Uncle Whiskers, really needs to keep his nose out of everyone else's business. I was honestly hoping to see some Mafia-style Sunny action, maybe scare Willow into a little reality check, or better yet, drop Drew to his knees. Oh, Tracy, if anyone can bring Drew and Willow down, it's her. She despises Drew, but she adores Michael, and she's the perfect person to expose him for the snake he is. She should release that video, and while she's at it, take back her mother's ring from Willow. She doesn't deserve to wear it after what she did to Michael. Wait until Willow finds out that while she was with Drew, he was also sleeping with Nina at the same time. Oh, the fireworks are going to be chef's kiss. Lastly, my thoughts and prayers go out to Leslie Charleson's family and friends. GH truly lost a legend, and she will be missed by everyone. Willow and Drew, the dynamic duo of disgust. I mean, truly, if there were a contest for who could be the most insufferable, they take home the gold without even breaking a sweat. I didn't exactly agree with Carly taking the kids away, but I get it. Michael didn't want that. But here's the thing. Willow and Drew? They're out here practically throwing a parade for their affair, with zero shame, none at all. It's like they're daring everyone to throw up. And now Willow, of all people, has the power to send Michael off to Switzerland, or some other lonely, far-off place. No family, no support, just him, alone, to figure things out. Meanwhile, she's just over here living her best life with Drew. I mean, can we please get Wiley to step in and ask, why is Uncle Drew even here? He's not my dad. Because honestly, same. And don't even get me started on Drew's audacity to tell Willow that Carly is emotionally manipulating her. I wanted to throw my remote through the TV. Does Drew really think he's playing some kind of therapist? What is going on here? Are the writers this out of touch? Does Alexis know that Drew has been using his grief over Sam as a flimsy excuse to sleep with Willow? Honestly, that whole thing needs to be exposed, especially so Alexis can swoop in and rescue Scout from that mess. Can you imagine how satisfying it would be to see Carly, Alexis, and Nina join forces to take Drew down? He's even got the nerve to bring up Oscar to Willow while they're hooking up in the nursery. Gross. It's a real shame too, because unlike some fans, I actually think CM plays Drew really well. They should have kept the fiery tension between him and Nina instead. At least that made for some compelling drama. And poor Scout, left to deal with the heartbreak of her mother's death with no one to lean on. She'd be so much better off with Alexis. I'd love it if Nina just cut Willow out entirely and split custody with Carly. Anything to stick it to Willow and keep Drew out of the picture for good. What's the deal with Drew anyway? I mean, we all know the writers love pulling the rug out from under us, or completely changing course halfway through a storyline. Remember Pikeman, Austin, Cates? So what's their big plan for Drew? I'm not buying the whole Drew is Shiloh angle. Sure, he's clearly trying to separate Willow from everyone, but what's his endgame there? Is it because he thinks she's sitting on a pile of money since she's Nina's daughter? Maybe he's plotting to blackmail Nina to get Willow back, or does he just need the cash for some unknown reason? Or, here's a wild thought, maybe it's all just pure arrogance and karma's going to come back to kick him in the ass sooner or later. And don't even get me started on their romance. With this storyline, I just can't see them as the next Edward and Leela. Drew's too toxic and Willow's just, well, too weak for that kind of legacy. It's like he could just be using Willow as a pawn to get back at Nina, because let's face it, he's still pissed she got him locked up. It's almost laughable how fast he seemed to just get over all that hatred and suddenly start playing nice with her. Oh, and the cherry on top? Getting to stick it to Carly through Michael, since we all know Carly will always choose Jason over him. At the end of the day, I think Drew's more about having a pretty young thing around who looks up to him and thinks he's some kind of hero. He's loving the whole protector or savior act. It's probably not much deeper or more complicated than that. Nina and Willow couldn't be more different, and anyone who thinks the whole like mother, like daughter thing applies here is seriously mistaken. Sure, Nina's done some questionable things for a man, but she's always had her independence. Willow, though, she hasn't been single for even 5 minutes. Hopefully, they'll develop her character more, but who knows? I do kind of feel bad for Nina, though. We all know Drew's probably going to whisk her and the kids away somewhere. Lucky them. Honestly, Nina reminds me more of Carly than anyone. Both of them make terrible choices when it comes to men, impulsive, emotional wrecks, but don't even think about messing with their kids. If you do, they'll go nuclear. Honestly, I'd love to see them team up and take Drew down a peg or two. I've never been a fan of Nina, but I'll admit it's nice to see her finally waking up, standing up for herself, and trying to do the right thing. I was almost warming up to her and Drew, especially once it seemed like their relationship was about more than just angry hookups. But then Drew had to go and ruin everything by chasing after Willow. Honestly, I don't think Willow would have even given him the time of day if she knew he was involved with her mom. What exactly makes Drew so different from every other guy Willow's cheated on? I mean, she's got a pretty consistent pattern here. She cheated on Chase with Michael while still married to him. Then she turned around and cheated on Michael with his own uncle, Drew. So what exactly sets Drew apart from the rest? Here's my take. If someone will cheat with you, they'll sure as hell cheat on you. Drew's going to get his karma eventually, especially if Willow pulls the same stunt on him one day. So what makes Drew special? He's older than Chase and Michael, and let's be honest, he loves playing the authoritative figure card. Sure, Michael's a dad, and Chase is trying to have kids, but Drew knows how to work Willow in a way that just screams creepy. He's that guy in his 40s who dates 18 to 22-year-olds and justifies it with the tired line, well, she's legal. Given how Willow was raised, it's almost too easy for Drew to manipulate her. The only thing making Drew special is that he's the one in the picture right now. But we all know Willow will just find someone else to latch onto once Drew's no longer the flavor of the month. Maybe her lawyer Martin will be the next savior to swoop in. Although, let's be real, Marty's smart enough to see right through her little act. You know what would make things really interesting? Imagine if Molly got custody of Scout instead of Alexis. I mean, I know Molly had a whole "I don't want kids" phase, but raising her sister's child is a completely different ballgame. And let's be honest, she'd be way better suited to raising an older kid. Just picture her as the cool, somewhat responsible mother figure. Yeah, it could actually work. And sure, the whole "don't separate the kids" thing is a big deal. But can we just talk about the potential drama of Scout growing up a Davis and Danny growing up a Quartermain? Oh, the possibilities. Talk about sibling rivalry with a capital R. Now I get it. Without Sam around to keep Molly and Christina in check, they both kind of become insufferable, even when they're not in the same room. So yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Alexis getting custody, especially since, legally, Drew already has it for both Scout and Danny. So I'm just sitting here hoping Alexis goes full mama bear and fights Drew for custody, then moves them both into the Q mansion. Imagine that. She could even shack up there herself. Oh, and Tracy? She'd be living for that. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.